It is October 2nd, 2013. My name is David Quick, and I'm interviewing Miss Mattie Croskey for the DC Gardeners Oral History Project, which is sponsored by the Neighborhood Farm Initiative and the DC Humanities Council. Also here are Kristen Brower of NFI and Rachel Lipman. Mattie, thank you so much for talking with us today.
You're welcome.
Could I get you to start by just saying your name and your address?
My name is Mattie Croskey, 3005 Ladybird Road, Northeast.
Thank you. So the major theme of this interview will be gardening and growing food and your life here in Washington, D.C., but let's start by just hearing you talk a little bit about your early life, where you grew up, your family, parents, things like that.
Okay, I was born in Lewisburg, North Carolina. And my mother and father had 15 kids. Mm-hmm. And I'm the baby girl. And it was great.
Nice. So, what kind of what was Lewisburg like? What was?
Well, it was a farm. We was on the farm. Okay. We had a farm. Raised all kind of everything. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have to buy too much because we raised most all the fruits and vegetables and stuff like that.
So was that both your parents or your father's, was that his main work?
He was a farmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did he also sell his crops? Or?
Yeah, cotton, tobacco.
All right.
Uh-huh.
And had that been what his family had done?
All their life.
For years? And what about your mom? What did she do?
She was a house.
Do you need to answer it? I can pause it. So, your mother, talk a little bit about your mother.
Well, my mother, she just really was, was a housekeeper. She just cooked and cleaned and all, Mm-hmm. But she didn't do too much on the farm. Mm-hmm. But she was just took care of 15 kids.
What was the age range between the oldest and you, the youngest?
Oh, God, it's too far back. Oh, God. When my oldest sister died,
how much? So how much?
80. She was 82.
How much older was she than you?
This is what I can't figure out.
Okay, don't worry about it. Okay.
I was born.
So she was 82, and you were what age when she passed away?
I don't know. I might not have been born yet. I don't know.
I think you were probably born.
I don't know. Might not have been born.
So,
not at that age.
Was she still in the house when you were born, or was she out?
I don't. No. She married and gone.
Okay.
We had a family of her own.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So that gives us some idea. Did all the kids work on the farm?
No, some of my brothers was already gone before I even was born.
Okay.
And so joined the Army, Navy, and all that stuff. So one brother I've never seen. So never met him, never seen him.
Well, okay. While you were growing up, though, did you go and work in the farm with your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why, Mattie, did you work on the farm when all the other? Did all the girls work on the farm? Or just
Well, they worked on the farm until they left home. Mm-hmm. And because we had to work on the farm. Mm-hmm. Because we had had cotton, tobacco, and all that stuff. We had to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wasn't doing it too much, but we had to do it.
Yeah. So, but your dad was growing cash crops like tobacco and cotton, but you also had some kind of a kitchen garden for the family?
Oh, man, a garden, cabbage, corn, tomatoes, all that. String beans, everything in the garden we had. Mm-hmm. Okras and cabbage, everything. We raised all that.
Yeah. And did your dad take care of that too, or was that your mom's? That was your dad. Okay.
My dad took care of that.
Yeah.
We raised pigs, cows, ducks, chickens, all that.
And did most families that you knew in that area?
Everybody was doing that.
Did that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, as you got older, did you stay in that area as you became an adult? Or?
I stayed over there. I stayed in North Carolina until I was like 16, 17.
Okay.
And then that's when I came to D.C.
You came to D.C. when you were 17?
Well, my brother got married, and there wasn't nobody home but me. Everybody had gone. It was very lonesome down there, but then he brought me back up here.
You came with your brother. Okay. And
I've been here ever since.
all right. Do you have any, before we get into your life here in D.C., are there any particular stories you remember about your childhood that you'd like to share?
Well, my childhood was good. I was lazy.
You were lazy?
Yeah. Especially when it comes to the farm. Because I didn't go out there and pick cotton that much. And I definitely didn't chew. I started cooking.
You started cooking?
And then my mother would go to do tobacco and stuff. So I would watch my mother, how she cooked and everything. Then I learned how to cook. But other than that, I didn't do too much.
Did you like working in the garden?
I love the garden. Yeah.
What do you remember cooking? What kind of food did you and your mom cook?
Well, we cook cabbage, corn. My mother makes corn puddings and all that stuff. And just everything from the garden we would cook. White potatoes and sweet peas. Oh, that was there.
Mattie, I know that cabbage is one of your favorites.
Cabbage and string beans. Cabbage and string beans,
We've had a
yes.
lot of conversations because Mattie's limited to the amount of cabbage she's allowed to eat currently. Is there a special way you prepare your cabbage?
Okay, yeah. I got to have some ham hocks or whatever, the country ham. And I cook the ham hock, and then I cut my cabbage up, put it when they're done, put them in there, and that's it.
It's a way to get it's salty, huh?
They don't have to be salty.
Oh.
Because, see, the ham hock is going to season the greens so you don't have to put it in the vinegar.
Nice. What happened to the family farm as time went by?
Well, my mother and father, they couldn't keep it up, so the landlord did let them stay there because, they were getting kind of old. And so they just let them stay there until most of them died. So, and because they were the only two there at that time.
Okay. But there was a landlord who owns the farmland? Okay. So probably found someone else to work it. Okay.
So there was no more farm.
Okay. Do you make it down there to Lewisburg?
Yeah, I was down there when I went last year.
4th of July.
Okay. And still
I
have
still have, because I have niece and nephew down there.
Okay.
But I don't have no sisters, no brothers, and nothing. Okay. I'm the last one living anyway.
Okay.
So it's a lot of fun going in. I don't go down there at all.
Okay.
What do you show your grandchildren when you're down there? Do you show them the farm?
Oh, my great-grand?
The great-grands.
The great-grand. Oh, they love it. Especially when they see a cow or a horse or something, a mule or something, and the pigs and stuff. They love it. They love to go there. But they don't, but it be so hot you can't enjoy it too much. And we just stay in a hotel mostly.
Do any of your family who are still there still work on farms? Do they still farm?
Not farming. They have a garden. They maybe have a garden, but they don't do no. It's not a whole lot of farming in there no more.
What is
not
there?
in my home.
Yeah.
Now where like cotton, tobacco. It's not. Well.
Has that farmland been developed into other kinds of things?
I think they said like soybeans or something. I don't know.
Okay. So the people are still growing.
Yeah, they
something.
still growing. Yeah.
Okay.
And then some people still have, cotton and corn. Cotton and tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different, like in Henderson.
Yeah.
Up that way, it's more. Not in Louisville.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were 17, you came here to D.C.
Yeah.
With your brother?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you said?
His wife. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So talk about that. That must have been a big change, huh?
Oh, it was.
What do you
wild one.
Uh-huh.
I'm coming from the country and I was too bad because he was going to send me back home.
Because you were too bad?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay. So how did you feel about moving to a city?
That's what I say. It was,
Yeah.
big lights and all the fun.
Uh-huh.
It was too much for the kid. So he was going to send me back home.
But he didn't.
No,
Oh.
because I changed.
I see. So what part of the city did you live in, you and your brother?
Right here, D.C.
What?
Northeast, every northeast.
Okay. So not near here, or do you remember?
No, that was northwest. We were living in northwest.
Okay. Do you remember kind of particularly where you were? What part of
T
Northwest?
Street,
T Street.
S Street up that way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So were you near like
in a house.
In a house?
Yeah, because it was my brother and his wife, and her brother and his wife, and they all of it. It was a house,
Uh-huh.
and all of us is, I think it's about three or four bedrooms,
Uh-huh.
and they had rented this house.
Mm-hmm.
It was on S Street. That's where it was.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And why had your brother decided to move to Washington, D.C.?
Oh, he had been here because he had got a job. Cause he was working at a soldier home,
Uh-huh.
and he had been here. So when he came back home and got married, then everybody came back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was he? Had he been in the military himself? Was he a veteran?
No, he was just working there.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that? What was that neighborhood like at that time?
Oh, it was nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, S Street was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
ain't no problem.
Yeah. And what did you do? I mean, like, were you still in school? Were you working?
I was trying to find a job,
Yeah.
but it took me a long time.
Yeah.
And, well, then I did find a job. Working at, I think I was working on P Street. It was a restaurant on P Street, and I was working there.
Mm-hmm.
But, didn't like it.
Do you remember what restaurant it was?
It was a restaurant. You sit right there on the corner on P Street,
Uh-huh.
and I forget the name of it. But anyway, you see soul food and stuff like that. And what is soul? Oh God, it was Soul Kitchen or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew it was on 7th and P.
7th of P. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Cause you could go there and eat all you want. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But you could go there and eat all you want, all kind of food you want. You could eat all you want.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that was nice. Now it was really nice, but that didn't last too long.
Because you didn't like it?
I didn't like. I just didn't like it.
Okay.
So then I never quit a job. I let them fire me.
Mm-hmm. So was that when you had to straighten up, or your brother?
Oh
was,
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So again, though, that was pretty different. The city versus your life in the country.
You know it was.
Yeah.
Couldn't go nowhere until you got to go. In the country you got to drive. You got to have a car.
Yeah.
Because you got to drive everywhere. But in the city you can just walk this block and all. It was more different.
Yeah.
And you just go buck wild, and that's what I did.
Did you have a lot more time because you were gardening and stuff?
I guess so. It was something to do every night, And then I had met my cousins up here, and then they would come and just say, "Come on, let's go," and I go. So, and it was just too much for my brother, so I said I got to straighten up.
So he was a protective older
Oh
brother.
yeah. He sure did.
How long did you live there with him and his
I
family?
lived there until we moved from that house, and then we moved to Minnesota Avenue. And then I got married. I think I got married when I was about like 23, 24. And my husband was in service. My first husband. And then we went to down, what place there? In Richmond. They sold that bird there in Richmond. What is it?
In Richmond, Virginia?
Soldiers were buried?
No, it was for the army.
Oh.
Like this is where your husband worked, or?
Yeah, that's where they shipped him from here down there.
I see.
And I went to Richmond, Virginia, down there in Richmond.
Okay.
And while he was there, he got me a house with a room with a room lady that he know. And that's where I was. Fort Lee.
Fort Lee. Okay.
Fort Lee, Virginia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what was his name?
Joe Calloway.
Joe Calloway. And how did you meet him?
Through my cousin.
Okay. So during those, so it sounds like you were here in DC for 4 or 5 years before you got married. During that time, were you doing any gardening at all?
Nah, I wasn't thinking about no garden.
No.
I wasn't thinking about no garden. Mm-mm.
Did you miss it?
The garden?
Yeah.
Not at that time. No. But I did plant one white potato in my big old plant out there. And I just, the potato was budding, and I just put it in the bucket. And it did get some potatoes on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about, doing it for the summer. Then I broke my leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was when you were a young adult, or that was recently? Yeah, that was just recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, okay, so when you went to Fort Lee down in Virginia, did you have access to gardening?
No,
again?
this lady now, she didn't know.
Okay. You were saying you were renting a room?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So there wasn't no gardening there.
Yeah. And how long were you there?
We were there for about like 2 years. And then he came back to D.C. Out to Fort Belvoir, and that's where it was.
In Fort Belvoir? And where did you live? Did you live in the city?
I came back to D.C. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And started a family? Or?
Yeah, I had one child out here.
Okay. Nice. And what are your, what year what year was that? Was that?
My son is what? He's 51.
Okay.
So, they was about in what year?
So that would have been like the 50s and 60s? Okay.
Yeah.
What was DC like? What are your memories of DC at that time?
It was good.
Yeah?
Certain part of D.C. gonna always be bad, so, it ain't even make no difference. But, where it was really nice. But then, we would go and, when I was staying with my brother on Minnesota, now I would go out and plant, like, flowers and things in the yard. But there wasn't no garden because you couldn't put fruit and stuff out.
Why?
Because, that's apartment.
I see.
They didn't know. And there wasn't no balcony or nothing like that, just detached houses. So you couldn't plant nothing like that. Then my brother used to live here, and I used to go with him to his garden. He would rent a place and then go and plant a tomato and cabbage and stuff like the string beans. And I would go out there and help him sometimes.
Where was that? Was that in a community garden? Or?
It's down there by, like, you went to Anacostia somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And he would have a garden like that every year.
Was it a place where a bunch of people had it?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it at Fort DuPont? Or?
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so he would go out there, and I would go with him sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And we plant, cabbage, and collard greens, tomatoes, and corn.
When was that, though? Was that...
This was like in, oh boy. This...
Was he a young man or?
No, he was older.
Okay.
He was, but I don't know. It was about in the 2000. It was in 2000 then.
Okay. So pretty recent.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because we've interviewed other people from Fort DuPont.
Okay.
But I don't know how long that garden has been there.
It's been there a good while.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this was in the 2000. I don't know if it's still there or not, but I know it used to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people go rent it. Pay for space.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can plant what you want on.
Yeah.
And there's one right down here, like going like off of Benning Road.
Mm-hmm.
You seen that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I ain't had no contact with nothing.
Yeah. So, at any point when you were living in D.C., did you have your own garden where you were living? No, you weren't able to do that.
Nah. I didn't have no garden, but of my own, no.
Yeah.
When I met Mattie, when we first met, she told me that she will go around this building, which, whether it's allowed or not, and plant tomato plants in season. So she finds space to garden.
Right.
So that's part of the way Mattie does it. She's very modest in saying that she doesn't, but she'll tell me, oh, I just put a potato out there and I'm gardening. She'll kind of use the space she has, the space she can find. Yeah.
So how long have you been here in this place?
10 years.
10 years, okay. And you've been doing this guerrilla gardening of planting tomatoes.
I was gonna get tomato. I got the plant, the seeds and everything, and I was gonna do it this year.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
And
With a broken leg.
yeah, because they didn't want me to be on my leg at all. So that was terrible.
Yeah.
And I was in that thing for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was miserable.
Yeah.
And then I had to go to therapy for 4. And it was basically good.
Yeah. But so, were you planting those tomatoes
I was going, yeah.
the seed right in the ground?
Right.
And did that work?
Well, that's what I said. I was going to put them out there because I got a great big thing on the porch.
Yeah.
And I was going to put them in there, and then they would, be a plant. And then after plant, then I could just take and just go ahead and put it back in there.
Yeah.
And grow a tomato.
Yeah. And did it work? Did you get tomatoes?
I got the seeds, I say. But not, I didn't get to do it.
Yeah.
Because that's when I had the accident.
Right.
But I still got tomato plants.
Yeah.
I mean seeds.
Yeah. But other years when you did it, did that work?
They worked.
To have you had little tomato plants around the...
Yeah, now if I go and get some mustard seed.
Uh-huh.
Mustard seed and plant it in there, it'll come up. And then I had some vegetables.
Yeah. Nice.
Because it's big enough, if I have big enough space, the bigger the space, the more you get. But it'll come up, and you have mustard, turnip, green, whatever.
And did other people who live here know that you were doing that?
Oh,
No? So couldn't they recognize it? I mean,
No, because I got it. See, you can't see on the back of them from down the stairs.
Okay.
No one can see this man next door, this man next door. But nobody else can see it from downstairs.
I see. Okay. So you're a sneaky gardener.
No.
Nice. All right.
But I am going to plant some in there.
Okay.
Because, you can do it about this time.
Uh-huh.
And that's the fall of the year.
Right. But before that, before you moved here and started doing that, had you been growing food on your own?
Oh, and then I could grow when I was living on 21st Street.
Okay.
I used to do the same thing out there in the back.
Uh-huh.
No, but they would steal my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just quit doing it.
What?
They would come along and just take it, at nighttime you sleep. They'd come and take everything.
Yeah. Was that an apartment building also?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So I stopped doing it. I would have cabbage and tomatoes. And they'd be so pretty. The next morning you ain't got nothing. So I stopped doing it.
Yeah. But not here.
No.
Probably getting around as much here, right?
No, I can't get around that.
But why, when you started doing that, why did you start trying to grow food in this little
Because
spot?
I like to see things grow.
Yeah.
Just like I put, you see my flower? It was just a little piece. And, and then everything won't stop growing. All on the floor, everywhere.
Yeah.
And I just love to see stuff grow.
Is that so you raised a family here in DC?
Yeah.
Was that something you did with your children or grandchildren?
My grandchildren now, they ain't into growing. So.
Have you ever thought of showing them some stuff, some tricks?
Well, my great grands, now they are very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, they are very interesting. Like if she see that my great grand, she would come in here and she see a yellow thing on my flower. She, Grandma, I got to pull it off. And she goes and pulls it off. But she very good. Grandma, something need water. The flower need watering. She feel in there and see it's dry. Grandma, your flower need water. And she's very, very interesting. But not my grand now.
Yeah.
They all grown here,
Yeah. So what?
In their 20s, they grown.
Yeah. And they're probably sowing their wild oats now too.
They
just
do
like
it.
you
Yeah,
did.
they sowing it. Yeah, they sowing it.
Yeah.
They don't have too many children. That's one thing.
Yeah. So in terms of just your overall life here in DC, though, you were married to a man who was in the Army, and you were at Fort Belvoir, and then what else did you work throughout your life here in DC?
Not too much.
Yeah. You raised.
When I married him, I didn't work no more.
You did what?
I said when I married him, I didn't work no more that year.
Okay.
At that time, but then I got married again. And then I did, because I used to, then I got married the second time. Yeah, I was working there.
What kind of work did you do?
First, home,
Yeah.
in-home care. I retired from that.
Yeah.
I would go in and help other people, people with legs amputated, and I love that. Oh yeah. So that was where I retired. In-home care.
Yeah. And what were the different parts of DC that you lived with? Like, where did you raise your family?
Northeast.
In, like near here, or
21st Street North. Yeah, right on Benny Road.
okay.
That's where most of them. Yeah.
Okay.
off of Denny Road.
And do you remember people in that part of town growing food?
Oh yeah, it was a man lived downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he would have one out there in the yard, where we used to live on 21st, and he would have tomatoes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, that would be the beautiful apartment was over there outside. It was on TV.
Did you get to eat any of
his
vegetables?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was on TV and everything. How the yard and the vegetables. It was on TV.
Yeah.
And somebody came to Chris and put it on TV.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember his name?
Bill Wright. That was his name.
Bill Wright.
And he would do it at Christmas. The yard would be the prettiest one it was on the block.
Uh-huh.
He would decorate it every year. Summertime would be vegetables. And it was a good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But was that unusual? Was he one of the only people who did that, or?
He was the only one who did it. Yeah, but he would do it every year. He was nice.
Why do you think he was the only one doing it?
Because I think he was from the country too, and he just loved to see things grow. And he planted watermelon. The watermelon got big too.
Yeah.
And he shared the watermelon with everybody.
So the soil was pretty good.
It was
around
really, yeah. It really was. So it was nice.
Yeah. But I mean, we've interviewed other people where they've talked about, the people who live in D.C. who grew up in the country and brought that with them. I mean, it's interesting that there weren't many people also growing like he did. No.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
Do you think they were growing? Were there a lot of people in that community garden near Benny Road, or was that there?
They were just right there out in the front yard of the village. But she, only the rental offer lady, she did let him do that. So that wasn't no problem. But he wasn't supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
But he had permission to do it.
What kind of housing was it that you lived in? Was it just an apartment?
It was an apartment.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was it subsidized in any way?
Yeah.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
So it was HUD regulations that said you shouldn't do that, or was it just local regulations?
Well, it was, but just like she just let him do it, because everybody was a mind, everything that he was doing, and everybody would come by, and some people would come by and take pictures, because it was so nice, and so she just let it on.
She's a nice property manager.
Yeah.
What else from your life would you talk about? How has DC changed? You've lived here for a long time.
How did it change? Well, a whole lot changed.
Yeah.
There have been some changes, but it could be some more.
Yeah. I'm sure there will.
But
What do you think's the biggest change?
the biggest change that I've seen. Well, for the first time, I got a black president. That's the first change. That's a change that we didn't know would ever come. So that's really. But other than that, it's still a lot to be changed.
Have you been down where you used to live on Benning Road? And see
I
what
go,
it's like?
because when I go to the market, I go by there every time.
Do you? What's the difference? Is it similar or is it different?
About the same, but not the front, because you don't see him. He died.
No.
He died about 2 years ago. And it's not the same not to see, what's out there now. But I go through there. Every time I go to the market, out there, the Omar Air Market, I go through there. And if I see some people that I know, I stop and talk.
So you like going down there to see your
yeah.
friends? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't forget, what it was.
Do a lot of people still live in the neighborhood that live there, or has it
A
changed?
lot of them done died out,
Did their grandchildren take over, or or children, or is it different people?
No, different people. Cause his wife had died first, and then he died about 3 or 4 years later. So somebody else there now. Most everybody I used to live in the building, I don't know them. They all gone. So that's where it goes.
Did you take any photos of his garden?
Oh, where would I find them?
Oh, no. Did you? Did you
Yeah.
take photos too? Yeah.
Oh, you should look for it.
Oh my goodness.
A project.
Oh boy, it's probably here somewhere. Cause yeah, they's probably somewhere. But where would they be?
Yeah. Well, maybe if there were journalists writing about him, they might be able to find some old newspaper articles or something about him.
Yeah.
What kind of places did you buy food over the years? Did you go to farmers markets or supermarkets?
I
or
go
both?
to farm market. And like if I like some good fruit, now I got a voucher now, I got to go to the market. And I go there on Thursdays and Saturdays. The oatmeal market, the oatmeal here on Benny Road. So I might go there tomorrow.
When you were a young adult, though, in the first years that you were here in D.C., were there farmers markets available? Yeah. Where were? Do you remember where they were?
Somewhere Benny Road, Michigan up there from Michigan Avenue. There's a whole lot on Park Road that you can go and get that stuff.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of.
Just to go. You just sign this. Just 'cause you're on there. Yeah. Just we'll all sign it. Rachel has to go.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You gotta keep going. But,
Oh, I forgot to tell you. They sent me another
one of those?
new life alert.
So, are there any other memory? I mean, we've kind of gotten a sense of your journey from the country to the city. What do you do you miss the country? Did you ever think about going back?
Nope.
Why not?
It's nothing there now.
Yeah.
It's not, but it's about the same thing, It's not the same. So when I went down there for that 4th of July, I couldn't stay down there no more.
Huh. But do you miss the life that you did have there when you were a very young? Do you miss that life?
Nah.
No. So city life suited you. It sounded like.
Well, it when I first got here, but that changed.
Yeah.
You know how you're wild and crazy.
Right, but even later on, when you raised a family, was this a good place to raise a family?
It was.
Yeah.
Most of where I lived, it was good for days.
Yeah.
But then, when they was coming up, it wasn't all the killing and stuff like it is now. And it wasn't as bad. People wasn't like they is now. Thank God that my children, I never had no problem.
How many children did you have?
I had 5.
5. And
3
how many
girls
grandkids?
and 2 boys.
3 girls and 2 boys. And are they all still here? Yeah.
No, I got 1 in D.C., 2 in D.C., and all the other in Merle. 3 in Merle.
And how many grandkids?
10. I got 10.
And how many great grandkids?
9.
Wow.
So that's your garden also, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Every weekend is great. Yeah. I mean, I told them 2 weeks I done had the grapes. And I told them 2 weeks I don't want to see them. Because I'm tired of them. And they don't bring them home. When I don't want to be bothered with them, I don't be bothered.
Okay.
And that's the way it is. Nope. If they want to come over every weekend, no way. But yeah, but I enjoy them because I know they care.
Yeah.
Because they call me about 10 or 15 times a day. Between my children and my great grand and grand. they keep.
Well, that's good.
Yes, it is, because they know what situation I am and all that stuff, so they checks on me, which I'm very proud of that. But sometimes you get bored. You call too much. And for entertaining, I can just go in the back and you can hear all you want to. Okay?
Yeah, there's a little soap opera out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else? Is there anything else you would share about your life? Any other stories?
Well, not too bad. I can't even reveal everything now.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for sitting with us. And talking.
Okay, well, it's good talking anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we'll invite you out to our garden because we're going to try and have people out to our garden. So we'd love to show it to you.
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Great. We will. Well, I'll talk to Rachel about having you, but hopefully on October 19th we'll have a bunch of
this month?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But you'd be welcome to come anytime.
Oh,
we'd love to
what
show
you
you.
say what?
It's up by Fort Totten.
That's not too far from here.
No. Anyway.
Right. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
I know where that is.
Yep. Well, thank you, Mattie.
You very well.
Glad to talk to you.
Nice talking to you.
Okay.